What's up, guys? Micah here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about everyday carry, specifically my EDC backpack. Now, I've been carrying an EDC backpack for over 10 years now. It's like one thing that I've been known for in my group of friends is everybody knows that I carry around this backpack. How I've curated my EDC over the years is I watch a ton of YouTube, so I know there's a ton of videos on everyday carry, and what I've done is kind of taken bits and pieces from other people's systems, and then obviously came up with my own ideas on some things and built out a pretty solid system that works for me. I'm super passionate about preparedness and being prepared, so I think everybody should have some sort of everyday carry. I think it's gaining a lot of popularity. Obviously, you see a lot more people. I mean, I think this is more of a trendy thing, but people that are carrying those sling bags. But it's always nice to have like some sort of bag on you, just for being prepared in different situations. So what I'll do is just go through my bag, pull everything out here, kind of show you some features about this bag specifically. This is a Vanquest Trident 21 Gen 2. So I was carrying I have a Gen 1 bag. I have their V Slinger, which is like a sling version of this bag. Obviously the Gen 2 here. They have a Gen 3 now. They probably are in the works for a Gen 4. I haven't been on their site in a while. Really high quality bags. I know there's other videos, several videos really on this bag in particular, so I won't get into too much of the features wise, but I'll just give you a rundown of everything here. And yeah, I'm excited to walk you through this and get in here. So we'll jump right into it. So I want to start out going through kind of the inspiration behind this bag first. So I got to give a ton of credit to, like I was saying before, I watch a lot of YouTube, and where I found Vanquest, the company, and a lot of features that are implemented into this bag is from the Urban Prepper. So you should definitely check his channel out. He's got some really, really good content, and that's the main inspiration behind this bag. So got to give him credit. But yeah, I'll just give you a look around the bag. So I'm not going to really do an overview of like the features of the bag and what the materials are and all that stuff, because there's been a lot of people that have done this bag in particular. But what I want to show is just kind of the system that I've set up. So I'll go ahead and jump in here to this first pocket. So you open this up, you got a pocket back here, some organizational elastics on the front here, and then another pocket here. So I've got a Leatherman Skeletool that I keep here. I used to carry this on body, but truthfully, I use my pocket knife more than anything. So I've just moved it into this position here. In this guy, I have a little Soto torch. It's kind of cool. It's an expandable thing. You can reach down into stuff to light it. Only thing about this is if you're in like Colorado or up in higher elevation places, this thing does not work in high elevation. So it's 5,000 feet. That's anything higher than that, it's not going to work. So, and I've tested that and it's accurate. Got this little Opinel pocket knife. I like these little collar locking old school pocket knives. Just can't have enough knives. That's in here. Key for my mom's car that I keep in here. And then I got a little glasses cleaning case, tied to go pin. And back here I have a ratcheting extension for the Leatherman Skeletool. So this thing's actually pretty sweet, where you put your little bits into this thing and then the ratcheting portion here, and then you can ratchet your Skeletool, which that was always a struggle in the past before I had this, because it's difficult to kind of spin this around. But that is that. So that does it for that pocket. I don't keep too much in here. I've had previous generations of this bag, and if you load this section out a little too much, this gets a little saggy. So I like to keep this as light as possible, and then you can throw other stuff in there if you'd like to when you need it. But there's that pouch. On this front pouch here, you slide that open. I keep a pocket Constitution because I'm a nerd and like to debate people or discuss, whatever stuff about the Constitution. So I keep a pocket Constitution. I keep a checkbook, which I rarely use, but there's been a few times where I've needed like my routing and accounting or account number. And then also a few occasions where I've had to write a check actually. So I just keep that on me because it was annoying. It happened like 2 or 3 times where I needed that info. On this next pouch, we'll open this up. So another thing that I really like about the bag too is that the interior is orange. So you're able to see, and you can just see it right off of here, is that orange contrast really allows you to spot all your gear. That's one of my favorite features about the bag. But yeah, so there's a pouch here that I don't keep anything in. I don't really like to have unnecessary weight towards the front of the bag, so there's nothing in that. But keep some zip ties and these little pin organizers. I always use zip ties. I find something to use a zip tie for, so I like to keep those on me. I have a highlighter, little mechanical pencil, and a pen. I keep these little Uco fork, spoon, and knife combo set here. This can be flipped around to, like, I don't know if you wanted to do automatic feeding. But yeah, these little clip together, keep that in there just in case. And then I keep this little journal that I usually jot stuff down in. I have a ton of quotes and stuff that I like to jot down, but just a little journal that I keep in here. And then I keep a tourniquet actually right here. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people who have criticism as far as you need a quick access little thing on the outside, so in case there's somebody bleeding or whatever. I mean, I've heard of a couple people that have had to actually use a tourniquet, and you know, ideally, yeah, it would be somewhere quick access, but I'm fairly certain I can get to this pretty quickly, and I know exactly where it is, and it's easy to see. You just quickly grab that. So I already know somebody's going to say, well, it should be on the outside. Well, it's not. On this side, I have a Sharpie. And then there's this pouch, which this generation has a little exterior pouch here. I keep an external battery pack out here. And I like to keep it there because on this inside portion, which this little admin pocket here flips open, I keep my charger for my phone. And so a lot of times what I do, and I've had this happen where I'll be like, if you're walking around the airport or, you know, walking around the store or whatever, you can charge through, I'll just hook this up to the battery pack because I keep the ports facing up. And then you can be carrying around your backpack, the battery pack's here, and then you can charge your phone and even put it in your pocket. So that's why I like to keep that on the outside there with this particular cord in this pouch. Not too much here. Like I said, I don't like to keep a ton of bulkiness. There's a couple wet ones here for antibacterial wipes that I keep in there. And then there's this little Gerber Shard thing that's like a bottle opener, screwdriver, multi-tool guy here. So that is it for really the exterior pockets. I'll flip it around to this side. I got a little Grimlock hook. Now, what I do with this is I typically will keep my water bottle clipped onto here. So I like these Grimlocks. It's not like a carabiner. I don't know if you've seen these before, but they actually like clip close, and then you push this button and can open it up. So I like to have my water bottle just dangling there because I don't have any water bottle pouches on this, and that's usually a pretty good spot for it to hang out. This bag has a little whistle on it. That's just one little feature there. And then moving to this side, there is a hidden zippered pocket here. And this is where I keep my holster. So I have a holster in here. It's actually a Maxpedition. That's like probably Vanquest's immediate competition. But they have a Maxpedition holster with an extra mag. I usually carry on body, but if there's for any reason that I wanted to carry off body, I got a little spot for it there. I've added on this little paracord quick grab for the zipper. So if you notice, these zippers have little pulls on all of them, obviously, but I like having this. It's like the perfect size for my hand specifically to grab this, and you can just rip the bag open if you want. So I like having that situated with that. So with this bag in particular, there's a couple different ways that you can access the internal main portion of the bag. So you can enter it in from the top, which I keep usually pretty open. And that way, if I have, you know, whatever I want to put in, if there was something I needed to grab and carry with me, I can put that, like a jacket or whatever, on top. I keep that pretty open. And then you can also open it from the side. So it's top loading and it's panel loading. So panel loading meaning there's a zipper that runs down the side here, and then there's a shelving system in this. This is one of my favorite features of the bag and ideas that I took from the Urban Preppers video. If you go back in the archives, he does a really great video on his setup, so you could check that out if you wanted to. But I'll pull out each of these bags so you can see the shelving system that's set up in here. You can move these shelves, so there's Velcro on the interior here, and you can adjust the shelves to any different height that you want. You can take the shelves out. You can only have two. If you had a thinner pouch, you make them skinnier. If you have a really thick pouch, you can make them bigger. So I like the modularity with the shelving system here. I'll go through the individual pouches here next. I'll bring you in a little closer here so you can see what's going on in each of these pouches. So red denoting first aid, pretty straightforward there. Open this guy up. So one thing to keep in mind with pills is, I heard this from my firefighter buddy. He was telling me that you're not technically supposed to remove certain pills from their original container. You know, I'm keeping them in these bags because I'm not going to carry around a bunch of pill bottles or whatever, but that's just what he told me. Not sure if that's accurate or not, but just a word of caution there. So I have allergy pills. Everything's labeled here, so I know what it is. Got some Zyrtec and a couple little Benadryls in there. Have some Advil, some Gas X, some Omeprazole, in case, you know, tummy aches, Tums, that sort of thing. I have a Ace bandage here. This was used, I put this in here. Obviously you can do like whatever you want, ankles, wrap your arm. I hurt my knee and was using it quite a bit, so, and I put it in here, and then I just kept it in there, and I think it's a solid option to have. Some more of those antibacterial wet ones. I have some Band-Aids. So these ones are labeled small Band-Aids and then larger Band-Aids. So have these separated out by size. And then one thing to point out here is, this is just something a little more fun, and I've noticed people like it, but I put in little, not just regular old Band-Aids, but I have like some Pokemon you know, Band-Aids for the kids. They usually like that, and then honestly the adults, you know, like it just as much. You know, if you get like a little Pikachu Band-Aid, you're pretty excited about it. So something I thought was kind of fun. Got some cough drops, little coldies. I hate getting sick, so these coldies, anytime I get like a tickle in my throat, I'm always throwing down some vitamins, so the emergency, and then mix it up with the coldies as well. Just hate getting sick. So I have some eye drops. I have pretty bad allergies, so these are allergy eye drops. Another one of those emergencies, and these are some gauzes. So should probably replace these. These are kind of beat up in here a little bit, but in case anybody had any more severe type bleeding, I would use these gauzes for that, and then you could wrap it with this if you wanted. Got a couple Neosporins here. So this one's for burn, and then this is just pain. So in tandem with those Band-Aids, and then these are little things for the Ace bandage, and then feminine products, couple tampons. So obviously for the ladies, but then you could also double it as a wound closure for, I mean, I've heard people, you know, put it in a bullet wound or whatever. So, so that's that. So I'll put this stuff to the side here. And in following with the color coded, so this one black is for electronics. So electronics here, I have these are just assortment of cords. So this is a micro USB cord. This is C to C. So typically I'm trying to do everything C now, just because it's a little bit better technology. Auxiliary cord. I'm not an iPhone guy, but I have an iPhone charger in case anybody has that. This is a Olight charger for my flashlight. So it's a magnetic charging. It's got a USB-A in, so you can either plug it into a battery pack or plug it into this Anker charging block. So this also has C and USB-A. so I can charge with that. And then this is actually kind of nice that it has a little folding prongs here, so you can keep it nice and compact. Got some batteries. This is AAA, AA. You can separate this out. I like these little cases, nice and organized. These are some cheap little earbuds, nothing crazy. They're like 30 bucks. And then this is, I have a gear watch, and this is just a charger for that gear watch. So that's what's in the electronic pouch. And then the last organizing pouch from Eagle Creek is my food. So I like to just keep some food on reserve. So I keep some Kind bars, some little fruit strips, some applesauce, and then these tunas are bomb. I don't know if you've ever had these tunas, but I love these things, man. I'm like, I need meat for almost every meal, and if I'm feeling low on energy or whatever, I hit a couple of these tunas and they're great. They got a bunch of different flavors. So, and I just like how compact they are. So if you're in for some snack ideas, tunas are bomb. And then I have some liquid IVs just to rehydrate if necessary, or if you're just sick of having water. So that's what's in the food pouch. And then the last pouch that I'll go to, which is actually in the top portion, which I can show you when I zoom back out, but this is the Vanquest pocket organizer. So this is kind of like an organizing solution and all. I'll get this stuff kind of out of the way so it's out of frame. So this pocket organizer, this thing's pretty awesome from Vanquest too. They have a few different sizes, so you could, you know, depending on what you want. Olfa gave me this little patch here, so I just threw it on just because I had it. But you can throw patches on the front here. It's got this front pocket, and then this is an EpiPen that I have. Just like I said, I have bad allergies, and in case anybody goes into anaphylactic shock, you can use that guy. So I have it on the outside for quick access. But yeah, I'll open this up so you can see what's going on in here. So give you a quick rundown of all that's going on here. So have this little tape measure. Surprisingly, this comes in handy. I'm like the family handyman, so there's plenty of times where my mom needs me to fix something, or we're trying to see if a piece of furniture will fit somewhere. I've used this several times, more than you would expect, so that comes in pretty handy. I have some super glue, always nice to have on hand. I typically carry that O-Light, but as a backup, I have this little Streamlight, little mini flashlight as a backup. Little USB storage. Then I have this cool little X-Acto knife. So this guy is, if you can see these serrations here, these snap off, so you can just like snap one off, which just did there, and that gives you a fresh blade to work with, and then you can replace that whole thing. So I got backups of that. Little X-Acto knife comes in handy. This is another little extension. This is the one that I had before that ratcheting. Try to get this to focus. Before I had that ratcheting version for my Skeletool. So this was just an extension, and then they came out with the ratcheting one. So I just got that there as backup. Wasn't going to get rid of it. Back behind this pouch, I have some earplugs. I have a couple of these the bit kit for that Leatherman Skeletool. So it has all different various bits. You can check it out online, but it's nice to have a little flexibility in that tool. So that goes in tandem with this guy and then that ratcheting one. I have some duct tape just wrapped around this, which looks like I need to restock a little bit on that, but usually keep some duct tape wrapped around there. This is a tool for the flashlight on my Glock. So it's a little adjuster tool in case, don't ever really use it, but it's just in here so I don't lose it, and in case I do need to make any adjustments there. Got a lighter, straightforward there. This is a little super glue container that I used to have, but I actually started storing my needles in here because I have a needle for repairing, stitching on your clothes or whatever, and thread. So just to make sure that needle's not poking anything, I just keep it in this little tube. So I have that nice and organized. This thing is pretty sweet. This is a little Whia mini screwdriver set. So It has this like little bandolier of different screwdriver tips. So it's got a bunch of different sized Phillips and flatheads, which get pretty small, you know, for like little toys or whatever. My nieces and nephews have little toys that might need that, and then some little star bits on this end. This thing's actually really high quality. Whia makes some good stuff. And then this actually is intended to slip on like this. It fits better how I had it in my pouch, but if you were going to store it somewhere else, it's all one unit here. So this little screwdriver is pretty sweet. I have a little Glock tool for my Glock in case I need to make any repairs. And then a little sharpening stone just to hone up my blades if I need to. Yeah, just as a backup option there. And then some quarters. So foosball, vending machines, you know, you can use your imagination, but that's what I use for that. So that's what's going on in the organizer pouch. This is where I was keeping that pocket organizer. So I keep it over to the side here, tucked away, so I have space to put other things like I was saying before. So the next thing I'll show you, though, is kind of how this shelving system works. So what I really enjoy about this shelving system is that you're able to pull out a pouch, and then you can see how there's still, this pouch is held up by this shelf. So you're able to easily pull this out, slip this back in, and you can do that for each pouch. So you're not, everything's not collapsing when you pull one out. I've used other bags before and immediately came back to this one for that very reason, because if you want to get to like something at the bottom of the bag, especially if it's only top loading, you have to pull everything out from the top, get what you want, and then put it all back in. So I really like how you can just unzip the side here, grab what you need out of this guy, and then slip it back in. So I'll show you what the bag looks like totally empty, just so you have an idea of what the internals look like. And there's a couple other little hidden things in here that I'll show you. But have a little clean sip. It's just a water filter straw. I've had it for several years in here, and it's kind of just like an emergency backup thing. Never tried it, couldn't tell you if it's good or not, but it's just not really in the way, and I just keep it tucked in right there. Another cool thing about this bag is there's some little hidden Velcro areas. So there's one right here. You could put obviously whatever you want in there. I don't keep anything in this pouch. There's another one where that clean sip resides, and you can obviously put whatever you want in there. I just keep that clean sip. And then there's another one right here that's separated from the top one, and I just keep a little extra cash in here just because it's tucked away, hidden. Most people probably wouldn't know this pouch even exists, but yeah, I keep that as, you know, backup emergency purposes. You got a little strap here for this back area, I think is intended for a laptop, but it can also be for a water bladder. So if you wanted to go hiking with this, which I probably would not recommend, but if you did want to, you could have a water bladder here, because there's also little tube ports for your drinking tubes to go through there. You can also, like I was saying, put a laptop. You have to have a pretty small one. I have I think a 15-inch laptop, and it does not fit in here. So it's got to be smaller than that. You'll notice here for the water bladder, there's a little hanger that you can hang this on. But yeah, so that's back there. And then this front portion, this is how the shelving system goes in here. So you can take each of these shelves out, and there's Velcro all along the walls here. So if you only wanted 2 shelves, you could do that. If you wanted none, you could take them all out. And then if you wanted the whole thing to be shelves, I have some, I think it comes with an extra 1 or 2. Since I have 3 versions of this bag, I could do all shelves the whole way up, but I just run the 3. So yeah, that's what it looks like. You can fillet this whole thing open if you wanted to like clean it or yeah, what have you. So it's a pretty sweet feature there. And then this is that little buckle that kind of holds everything together. But yeah, that is the overview of the whole bag. All right, just threw the pack on real quick so you can check out what it looks like. For size reference, I am 5'7", 150 pounds, so not a giant guy. That's why I like this bag. This bag, it's a little bit smaller, so you can see from what it looks like from the side, from the back. Yeah, and overall, really like it. It's really lightweight, not too bulky. Doesn't look like a freaking hiking backpack, and you got everything when you need it. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this one. Hope you learned something new. I know there's a lot of EDC content out there. There's a million different iterations of bags, a million different iterations of what people carry on body and that sort of thing. So hope there was something new that you learned. If you have any questions about any of the stuff that I went through as far as, you know, what brand stuff is, or, you know, what I think about, you know, longevity of whatever it is, what hat I'm wearing, anything like that, feel free to drop that in the comments. Big part of my everyday carry is really my truck. If you know me, you know I talk about my truck all the time. That's the thing around my family and friends. My nieces and nephews are Micah's truck. So that'll likely be the next video. I got a lot of stuff going on in here. So there's some cool stuff in the bed of the truck, on the internals and all that. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, we'll see you on the next one.